All right, people, just when you couldn't make sense out of the brokenness of Britain, just when you couldn't wrap your head around one stupid decision after another by the British establishment, they somehow find a way to make it even harder. Or do they? Are they making it harder for us to understand, or they're actually making it simpler for us to understand that the people responsible behind the destruction of British society, its civil service, its politics, its social fabric, they are not interested in fixing Britain. They're actively destroying Britain on purpose. And the reverberations will be felt all across the West, not just the Anglosphere countries. They'll be felt here in Australia, they'll be felt in Canada, in New Zealand, and yes, even in America. I know Americans like to think of themselves as unique and different, but I'm sorry, we are all connected. The ideology and the people who are busy destroying Britain, they're hard at work here as well. In every single one of our great countries, they're all busy. Have a look at this. King Charles. By the way, I know there is a huge movement against the monarchy. There are a lot of people who call themselves anti-monarchists or something like that. I, as an outsider, have always looked at the royal family with somewhat reverence. Not necessarily reverence is probably not the right word, but I've looked at it in a favorable way. I was a huge fan of Princess Diana. I remember in August 1997, it was August 1997, I was 13 years old. First, it was Mother Teresa who died, and then Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. He died, and I was really sad at his death. And I remember even Princess Diana mentioned him, and then a few days later, Princess Diana died, and I kind of cried. I had a secret crush on her, like I was a 13-year-old boy. I remember getting really sad and upset, and I cried. And so, and then I looked at Prince William and Prince Harry. Harry's, I think, around my age. So, I didn't mind the royal family, but I don't think I can say the same thing now. Look at this. This is King Charles, yeah? Look at him. The royal family has just changed the monarchy's job description to include other religions as well. The king's official job, which used to be the defender of the Church of England, it's been updated to now protect faith within the multi-faith nation, whatever the hell that means. On the one hand, they've been chastising Christians and Christianity for years, for decades. They have literally introduced laws that are anti-Christian. Let's just talk about abortion, yeah? Regardless of what my position is on that, but I will point this out. I will point out this hypocrisy. Christians, for example, don't like abortion, okay? They don't like abortion. They think it's akin to murder, even if the fetus is 1 day old, yeah? But they had no problem in dismantling that claim of Christianity. They went ahead. I think abortion has been legal in Australia since the 70s. I think it's the same in the UK, 80s, 90s, or whatever. In America, Roe v. Wade was just reversed, which had been around for many decades. But when it comes to rejecting Christianity or making laws against Christianity, they waste no time. But when it comes to other cultures like Islam, which are hostile, which are horrible, I would gladly live in a hardcore fundamentalist Christian society, not just this modern benign Christian society, in a hardcore radical Christian society. I would happily live under that than I would live under a moderate Muslim society. So this guy is now going to be defending, he's now defending, his job is now to protect faith within the multi-faith nation. Hijabs, burqas, niqabs, all of that. So let's have a look what it actually means. So have a look at this. So the king will protect the space for faith within the multi-faith nation in a new definition of his official role. Buckingham Palace unveiled a significant revision to the king's official role with the newly released Sovereign Grant Report, blah, 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 describing His Majesty as the protector of faith across Britain's diverse religious landscape. FGM, child marriage, polygamy, bigamy, honor culture, all of that will now be defended by the sitting monarch of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. You don't understand. It's just those cultural divisions existed for a reason. The Muslim world is inherently different from the Christian world or the Western world in general. Those divisions have existed for centuries for a reason. This artificial idea of bringing in people and just everything's going to turn out okay, obviously has blown up in their faces. Obviously, it's not turning out to be okay. Isn't it funny that just Rupert Lowe just recently talked about this? This is what Rupert Lowe had just recently said, has spoken about this.
Right, King. So he sits at the top. Constitutionally, he's very important, Patrick, because he also technically is under our constitution supposed to be defender of the faith. That is his role, and that faith is the Church of England.
The faith, yeah, he's a defender of the faith, not all faiths. That's not who he is supposed to be.
Now, you know, I did a lot of work for the Prince's Trust, and I have met King Charles on a few occasions. I don't know what he is or isn't doing to influence this situation. If he was a good man, he would be reading this report and he would be influencing it in the right way. And I think he should be, in my opinion, underlining the fact that he is defender of the faith, whereas he, I think, I'm right in saying, prefers to be described as defender of faiths. Well, you can't be defender of the faith and also be defender of faiths. You have to be defender of the faith if you are head of the Church of England, which is what he is.
These faiths don't get along. They're antithetical to each other. Muslims view Christians as enemies because, in their eyes, Christians attribute other gods to the one true God. So even though they claim to follow the same God, but they don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and they hate Christians for it. They hate it. That's why they say they hate them. Look at this.
It is from our religion that we have to hate them for the sake of Allah. We love what Allah loves, and on the opposite of that, we hate what Allah hates.
Let's not beat around the bush. We don't love each other. We're not on the same page. We are not friends. Does that make sense? We are enemies.
Very simple. No integration, no multiculturalism, no diversity, no tolerance. I've got my own deen, you got your own deen. You got your democracy, we got our own sharia. You got your own free mixing, we got our own nikah. Own cheating within the marketplace, your own credit cards. We got our own economic system. We got our own foreign policy. We got our own deen.
So these are the people. This is the faith that the traditional defender of the faith, i.e. Christianity, is going to be defending. You know why he's saying that? Because, look, again, I don't know how true this is, but let me put this forward. This is Lawrence. Sorry, I forgot her name. She is the chief reporter of Dan Wootton's show, or on Dan Wootton's channel. I forgot her name. Lauren something.
People tell me off camera they believe King Charles is a Muslim.
Wow. Who told you that?
I won't say. It was someone very, very high up. But I've been warned, don't talk about Islam. It's not safe.
Well, nothing's safe now.
I've had.
She's had people. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised